What's up, Michelle here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about boundaries, the importance of them, how to set them, how to maintain them, and how doing this will improve every aspect of your life. And if you do have any questions or suggestions about this, and you want to know even more about relationships or mental health or anything, please put it in the comment section, and let me know if this advice helped you. And press that subscribe button while you're down there. Nearly at 1,000. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you. If you're new to me, I'm Michelle Therese. I'm a published author, mental health campaigner, and passionate motivational speaker. I made this channel to inspire people, and I hope that works with you today. So yeah, boundaries. A lot of people overlook them. A lot of people like to please other people. You know, they said, oh, well, I'll just let them off, or I'll just do that to please that person, or, you know, I don't want to lose that person because if I speak out about how I'm really feeling, I'm going to lose them. I used to be one of those people. I used to just please everyone else. I used to not have any boundaries. I used to be chaotic, you know. But I tell you what that did. That made me physically and mentally exhausted. And it also attracted loads of other chaotic people. You know, for example, I didn't have any boundaries in my personal life. I let people, you know, do what they wanted to me, really. You know, I used to let people turn up at all hours. You know, I used to let people ring me at all times. And it drained me. I didn't know what to expect for the people. I didn't know what they wanted from me. You know, I used to have people turning up, acting friendly, then the next minute being sexual, then the next minute being distant. Like, I didn't know kind of even much of what these people wanted from me, and I didn't know how I should act. That's why boundaries are important. Boundaries tell other people, this is how we are, this is what I am, this is what you are, and this is the line in between. Please don't cross that. And it happens in everyday life. Everywhere you go, there's boundaries. You walk out your door now, go to the bus stop, there's boundaries. Because when you get on that bus, you know, it wouldn't be expected that you sit right next to, you know, that person near the window. Everyone needs their own personal space. Like on the tube, for example, you know, it's not liked when people stand right close up to other people because it's like, you're invading my personal space, buddy. Like, back off a bit. And that is about everyday life. You might be living in a house with other people. You might have your own bedroom. You close that door. It's your time, it's your privacy, it's your space. So when you've got your door shut, sometimes you might have a sign that says private or I'm in the bathroom, whatever. And if someone knocks, that, you know, that's polite. But if someone just opens that door and walks in, you'll be like, hey, I was showering, or hey, I was, you know, writing in my diary, or doing something personal, whatever. And that is an invasion of your boundaries. That's an example. Another one might be, you might be walking in the grocery store, and somebody might ask you for directions or ask you for help, and then they might tap you on the shoulder, or they might even touch you. That's like an immediate invasion of, you stepped my boundary, you overstepped that line. Some people might like it, some people might not. I'm quite a huggy person. I don't mind being hugged by strangers, but a lot of people probably won't. Everyone's personal boundaries are different, but it is important to set them. And how you can do this is by being clear and concise. You know, for instance, you might go to bed at 10 p.m, you know, and you might not want calls and loads of notifications and messages from people, you know, after 10 because you need to get up at 6 or whatever for work. And that a clear boundary would be, look, I go to bed at 10 o'clock. You know, can you not ring me after 10, please? Because I want to wind down and I want to just do my own thing before I go to bed, and I don't want to be answering calls and messages before 10. So, you know, that's a clear boundary there. And if somebody respects you, unless it's a genuine emergency, they're going to wait. They're going to think, all right, my mate don't want me texting at that time, I'll leave it. I know that's what I do. A lot of people have said that to me. A lot of people have told me their work hours and their sleep schedules and stuff. And I work through that. I keep that in mind because I care about them. I don't want to overstep their boundaries. Another one is being clear about how you see that person and what to expect from that person. If you don't know where you stand with somebody, how on earth can you act appropriately? Might make sense, like if you don't know whether they fancy you or whether they see you as just a distant friend or whether they see you as a sexy friend, like you need to know where you stand and why. And I do now, because in the past, I'm going to use a recent example of this. Most recently, I broke ties with somebody that I didn't know what it was, and I don't think she knew what it was. Very bad boundaries, no real guidance, nothing. It was very back and forth. 1 minute it was a relationship, the next minute it was friendship, then it was just sexual friends, then it was friendship, then we didn't speak, then it was back to friends, then it was hating each other, then it was loving each other, then it was friends. Yeah, you can see how that can get exhausting and confusing. And that's because I really didn't know what I wanted, and I don't think she did, and that resulted in that kind of behaviour. We used to just ring each other randomly. There was no set hours, so it might be 3 in the morning she used to ring me. You know, she just turned up at the door without me being even wanting it. That kind of behaviour, it can drain you out. It can make you think, oh God, do you know what I mean? Not, oh no, what am I doing? And it's not good. So now in my relationships and friendships, I always am clear and honest. I always say, this is why I've contacted you. This is what I see in you. And this is what I want from you. This is what I get from you. Most recently, I had a friend hit on me, asked me out. She asked me out on a date. And I was flattered. I was. She's an amazing person. I don't look at her in a sexual way. But I've known her for a very, very long time, many years. And I said to her, look, we are good friends and you know that. And it's never going to change, but I'm always there for you as a very close friend, family. And that's me maintaining my boundaries. And you do need to maintain them. Because if you don't maintain them, that can hurt someone else. Because, for example, you might say to somebody, I only see you as a friend. I don't fancy you sexually, but I see you as a friend. And then you might flirt with them accidentally. And that might give them the wrong idea. They might be like, oh, she does like me really. Or, oh, she give me a sign. Do you know what I mean? You always need to bear in mind how the other person might view your behaviour. And I didn't used to do that. I was selfish. Very selfish. But now I'm learning to think about how it can be interpreted. Be clear and concise in all your interactions with other people. That's what I've learned. But expectations as well. Like I said, the contact one, for example. I mean, for me, I've got a boundary. You come to my house, you take your shoes off at the door, and you wipe your feet on the rug. I don't want any mud on my carpet. That's my clear boundary. It's a rule. And I wouldn't want anyone breaking that. Another one might be, yes, I did pause it and I was thinking for a little bit because I just make these off the top of my head. I don't have a script and all these fancy gadgets and stuff. But yeah, another one might be smoking. You might go to somebody's house and it might be a no smoking house and you might smoke. And that really would be disrespectful, for example. Inviting loads of people around. These are all good examples of boundaries. Sexually, even if you're in a relationship with somebody, you might not want to do that thing, and that other person might be constantly suggesting it or oh, let's just do it or let's just try it. And no, I don't like that. That's my uncomfortable zone. It's important to put your foot down. And as somebody that used to have no boundaries, I can say it's made my life so much better since I'm able to say, no, you overstepped the mark. And to be able to have that firm approach is amazing. It's not a lot. Some people think it's harsh or whatever, but it's not. It's saying I matter. That's what it's saying. It's saying we both matter here. My suggestion, like I made a video a couple of days ago about abusive relationships, and if the people in your life are doing these things, not knocking before they're coming in, not respecting your privacy, not respecting what you tell them, just invading privacy, physical boundaries, that's abuse. And that's me being blunt, that is abuse. Whether they see it or not, it is. Constant, repeated invasion of boundaries and privacy is abusive. And you need to really think about that. Do you want these people in your life? Why have you got them in your life? Are they adding value to your life? Do they support you in any way? Or is it just you supporting them? You need to think about those things. And I really do hope you realise that those people probably aren't good for you. And it might be time to actually say, look, I don't want to just cut you off. But if you don't start respecting my boundaries, I am going to do that. I suggest you say that. And, feel free to let me know if that works in the comments, if you've had any different response. Because that's what I do these days. The other night, somebody knocked on my door at midnight. I was firm with them. I said, don't do it again. You come to my address at midnight, knocking on my door. I was in bed reading. What the hell are you doing? And it was a neighbour. It was private, but it was a neighbour. And I was firm but fair. And I've not had anything like that recently. Boundaries are there to protect us. We need to feel safe. We can't be feeling, oh, I don't know when this person's going to ring me, or, oh no, I'm living in fear because I don't know if that person's going to hit me, or if they're going to invade my trust, if they're going to touch me in a way that I don't like, if they're going to invite random people round, if they're going to actually listen to what I'm saying. We deserve to feel safe in ourselves and in our hearts. And the only way to do that is putting the foot down in that sense. But taking it out, and not necessarily the abstract, but also taking it out of just friendships and relationships. Like I said, everyday life, we have boundaries in ourselves as well, Let's say you come in from work and let's say, let's say you come in from work and let's say you've got people living in the house with you, you're tired, you just want to switch off, and they're playing loud music. That would be disrespectful, and that would be, a real fuck you to your boundaries. That's their way of saying, well, I know you've just worked a 12-hour shift, but we're just going to keep you up. It happens in all walks of life. Like in Asda, you wouldn't necessarily expect to walk into Asda and, to start talking, about porn films or about, X-rated things in the grocery aisle. That's not the right place to do that. Coffee shops, again, like I said, this is kind of funny because going back to when I didn't have any boundaries, I met this cute girl when I was in a coffee shop, and it worked actually because this is what I said, and I was shocked. I basically said, look, you come here often, because I love coffee, blah, blah, blah. I started talking about that. She was reading a book. I think it was George Orwell, actually. That Down and Out in Paris and London, I think it was, and I said, look, that's a brilliant book, which it is, and we started chatting about that, and then did say she was sexy, and she laughed, probably nervous, and we started chatting. That's okay, it's a public place, but to do that in a library, for example, not the right place. To do that in a bathroom, not the right place. To do that at a funeral, not a right place. To do that in the cinema, probably not the right place. So you always need to think, is what I'm doing appropriate to my surroundings? Do I want to be hosting, a rave, in a library? As a funny example, it's life is really all about boundaries. A lot of them are unwritten. And as somebody that has Asperger's, which I have, I struggle with that. But I've learned, and I'm getting better at that. I don't have anything off the top of my head more to say about this, because like I said, I actually don't do scripts. I just come up with it off the top of my head. And I hope I've done okay today. If you found anything that I've said helpful, please press the thumbs up and the subscribe button. If you've got any questions, please ask me. And please vote, because I've got another video coming out in a few days. If you want to get involved, tell me what video you want me to do and why. Okay, it's been Michelle Therese, and I'm going to get a cup of coffee in a bit. Bye.